defending state 5A champion Jefferson City Jays opened two-a-days in August of 1994. Another amazing season was about to unfold, featuring a rugged schedule, an historic coaching milestone, an overtime thriller, and eventually an unprecedented 9th state title. Beginning his 37th season in charge, legendary head coach Pete Atkins was ready as ever.
As long as we're having fun and the kids, respond the way this bunch has this year, why, I think it's going to be a real challenge for me and our whole staff, and we're looking forward to it. And right now, why, I may coach 25 more years, who knows, but...
That would add up to about 300 more wins. Labor Day weekend, Pete Atkins and the 94 Jays went to work, opening the season against Arkansas State power, the Rogers Mounties. But the Jays mounted the early attack. Tommy Boston rambled 68 yards on the opening kick. 2 plays later, senior Ben Ball hooked up with a wide-open Clay Marlin. Jays up 7-0. Later in the first quarter, a big defensive play by Lerone Briggs, the first of many picks this season. This one set up a second Jaybird touchdown, a 26-yard Ivan Benson run, 14-0. The next Rogers possession ended the same way. Briggs with his second interception in the opening quarter. That would set up another Benson run from 48 yards, juking past the Mounties. 6 minutes into the season, the Jays already leading 21-0. Falk carried in the final score in the first half, faking out the camera and the Rogers defense. Jays went on to win 27-7. On the road to Kansas City for game number 2, a big birthday celebration for Coach Atkins, coming in the way of an offensive explosion. On Jefferson City's first 20 plays, the Jays amassed 10 first downs, 4 touchdowns, 267 total yards. JC went to intermission with a comfortable 42-0 lead. Ivan Benson exploded for 3 touchdowns. Jefferson City scoring on 8 of 9 possessions in the game for a big 49-point victory, 56-7. Somehow, someway, the Missouri sports writers dropped the Jays to number 2 in the state poll. Hazelwood East took over the top spot, but of course the only poll that counts is the last one. Back home for week number 3, hosting Parkway South, the Patriots knew they were in the battle with Missouri's best. Rick Presbury opened the scoring with a 1-yard plunge. On the second Jaybird possession, early in the second quarter, Balk goes in from 7 yards out to make it 14-0. The JC defense held the Patriots to just 19 yards in the first half. Junior lineman Pat Mingucci does his thing. And the traditionally strong Jaybird special teams came through. Junior Brad Harrison on the block. Briggs recovered at the 3-yard line. That's where Ivan Benson took over, 21-0 JC. And that's not all. 4th possession for the Jays turned into a 4th touchdown. Pete Atkins turning to the back of the playbook. Balk to Briggs. Downfield to Jake Taggart, 47 yards for the razzle-dazzle touchdown, making it 28-0. Jefferson City eased on to a 41-6 victory, moving to 3-0 on the season. Battle with the Bulldogs of Sumner highlighted week number 4. The visitors ranked number 6, the Jays number 2. Jays Doug Patterson in the Sumner backfield leading a defensive struggle in the rain. No scoring until late in the opening quarter. Joey Lopez fires up his team and the crowd on the strong run up the gut. It worked. 2 plays later, Rick Presbury dishes out the hit of his own as he bowls over the Bulldog into the end zone. 7-0 Jays at halftime. That was all the scoring until the 4th quarter when Ivan Benson broke free, rambling 63 yards, 13-0 good guys. Jays intercepted late in the ball game, setting up a Ben Balk keeper. Jefferson City blanked the Bulldogs 19-0, going to 4-0. And it was back on the road again. A long overnight trip to Paducah, Kentucky to face the Tillman Tornado. The Jays stormed to victory after a slow first half. JC led 7-0. But the JCD forced 5 Tillman turnovers in the second half while holding the Tornado to just 7 yards rushing in the entire game. Jays moved to 5-0, a second straight shutout, 32-0. The Jaybird D's stood for domination in 1994. Jays would roll over a rock following a week off, or rather an extra week on the practice field. Missouri's two premier football programs over the past 2 decades cracked helmets in Kansas City. Once again, the premier team came out on top. A big night for the Jaybird offensive line, led by the likes of Pat Mingucci, Joe Whitman, Doug Patterson, Prentice Dixon, Nate Kling, Clay Marlin, Doug Busby, and Jake Taggart. The line broke open big holes for Ivan Benson, who ran for 4 touchdowns, rushing for 160 yards. JC trailed in the game, though, 14-7 at halftime, but the Jays controlled the ball and the game in the second half, keeping the ball for 16 minutes. A great win on enemy turf. The Jays rocked the Hawklets 27-21, going to 6-0 on the season, heading into homecoming next week. A big homecoming celebration at the expense of Wentzville as district play began, but this one didn't come easy. The visitors scored on the opening kickoff, a 91-yard return, but the Jays tied it right back up on the final play of the first quarter. Rick Presbury on the 3-yard touchdown. The JCD took control, Clay Marlin making a visit to the Wentzville backfield. Jays punched in another Presbury touchdown before halftime, leading 14-7 at intermission. Jefferson City opened the second half with a Melvin Myers touchdown. Joey Lopez later scored a pair of fourth-quarter TDs to make the final 41-14, but it was really closer than that.
You know, we just feel good about winning. We don't care how it happens, just as long as we win. That's the bottom line.
Coming from a man who knows a lot about winning, 399 career high school victories until this historic night in Columbia, October 28, 1994. The first ever meeting between the Jays and Rockbridge, and it was memorable. Ivan Benson opened the scoring untouched on this 64-yard jaunt. Jays led 7-0. A big Jaybird contingent spent most of the night standing up. Midway through the second quarter, Ben Balk keeps it on the option. Jays up 14-0. But Coach Atkins, he wasn't satisfied yet. Joey Lopez added a 27-yard field goal. And don't forget that vaunted JCD. Benji Alley squelched the Rockbridge drive just before halftime with this interception. Jays led it 17-0 at half. Another great job by the offensive line, giving Ben Balk room to score. Benson and Boston added 2 more. Jays routing Rockbridge 38-0 in one of the most impressive performances of the year, carrying Pete Atkins into the record books one more time with career victory number 400.
To have it over with, and I'll get you guys off my backs now. The win is real special to me. I'm a poor loser, and I wish I could have won more than 400 or been a part of 400, but it's real special. I'm glad it's over with. Now we got to get on to the cube.
And what a way to end the regular season. The district title on the line for Missouri's #1 high school football rivalry. Jefferson City and Columbia Hickman. Cupies jumped on top with 2 first-quarter touchdowns. The Jays found themselves trailing 14-0, by far the biggest deficit of the season. But the Jays would not say die, taking advantage of some Cupie miscues after a fumble recovery. Benson went in for the touchdown. Then just before halftime, Balk led the troops down the field, hitting Jake Taggart at the 17. From there, Joey Lopez knocked in the 34-yarder. Jays went to intermission trailing 14-10, but it could have been much worse. More heads-up play for JC, forcing a Corby Jones fumble. Pat Mingucci recovers. Then, on a 4th down and 2, Benson got the first down and much more. A 22-yard touchdown scamper. Jays, for the first time on the night, would take the lead 17-14. Hickman tied the game with a Matt Linnett field goal. He later missed a would-be game winner, leaving the game at 17-17 going to overtime. The Jays got the ball first and scored first. Benson finding pay dirt for the 3rd time on the night. Hickman, though, with a chance to tie it. 4th down, Corby Jones would not make it. Prentice Dixon led a host of 5 Jays as the JCD held on the biggest play of the season. The Jays move on with an unforgettable 24-17 overtime win.
It was a great ball game, Rod. We felt very fortunate to be able to win. We came out flat and got ourselves in a hole, got down by 2 touchdowns, but the kids fought back. Very proud of the way they came back, you know, against adversity. And
at 9-0, Pete Atkins and the Jays completed a 19th undefeated regular season, moving on to postseason play. First round playoff action at home on a muddy field hosting Francis Howell North. Only 1 touchdown in the opening half, coming on one of the longest drives in school history, 19 plays, 87 yards. Ivan Benson ran in the last 9 as the Jays led 7-0 at intermission. No more scoring until the 4th when Benson and Balk added rushing touchdowns. The Jefferson City defense, meanwhile, recorded its 4th shutout, 20-0, in a game featuring a visit from ESPN and SportsCenter's Bob Lee.
The legacy that he has established, I mean, you can see the numbers, but until you spend time here on the ground and talk to people and get a sense here at the game and around practice of what this man is about and how he has built this program and how he's sustained it, then you really begin to get a sense of appreciation of what he is about. I think you get a sense that he's really part of the fabric of this community, and it's a remarkable story.
The 10-0 Jays moved on to quarterfinal action in Springfield for a close encounter with the Kickapoo Chiefs. Joey Lopez put JC on top 7-0 midway through the first quarter. Ivan Benson later made it 14-zip in the second with this dazzling 24-yard run, but the score proved costly as Benson was knocked out of the game. Kickapoo scored twice and pulled to within 2 at 14-12 in the 3rd quarter, but that was it. Jefferson City hung on to avoid the upset. Coach Atkins wasn't too pleased.
when you play this kind of football game, you know, you're not happy. I'm not happy. They shouldn't be happy. And I shouldn't have to motivate them. They ought to be taking themselves right now.
The Jaybird Express is back on track. After a sluggish quarterfinal effort in Springfield, the Jays opened up like gangbusters in the semifinals. Second play from scrimmage, sophomore Lerone Briggs busted loose on the 67-yard scoring run. Jays led 7-0 over visiting Oak Park. In traditional fashion, Jays special teams came up with a big play early, blocking this first quarter Northman punt. And later in the opening period, Joey Lopez carried over from 3 yards out, the senior accounting for 25 points today, and the Jays were sending the Northmen southward in a hurry. The JCD also gave Oak Park a rude welcome on their first ever visit to the capital city. Prentice Dixon in on the sack. Coach Pete Atkins turned to the back of the playbook to close out the first half. Ben Balk pitching to Lerone Briggs, who launches it 45 yards to Jack Taggart, a foot shy of the goal line. That set up the Balk keeper as the Jays went to intermission leading 20-0. Oak Park got on the board with a freak fumble return to open the second half, but the Jays answered right back with a Lopez touchdown run. Then B.J. Goldhammer went in for the two-point conversion, make it 28-7. For good measure, Lopez added a field goal and then this 5-yard score. The senior back with 3 touchdowns, 4 PATs, and a field goal as the Jays return to form with a dominating 38-7 victory, setting up a 10th trip to the state finals 1 week from today.
Really played well, Rod. We're proud of them. Great job. Great comeback after that effort we had down there in Springfield on Monday. We're just a completely different team today. We're going to take 2 days off, Rod. The guys deserve it. We haven't had a day off for 20 days now. It's been 20 straight practices, so we're going to take 2 days off. We'll go back to work on Tuesday.
Then it's back to Faurot Field on Saturday for a 10th trip to the finals. One win away from an unprecedented 9th state championship.
You're a unique group. You're a different breed. There's not many breeds like this around anymore. So one more time, be proud of what you've done. Be proud of where you're at. Show your fans. And they'll be here today what it's all about.
Outside the locker room, thousands of Jaybird backers were hoping for history. A 9th state football championship for J.C. High, more than any other Missouri school. But the Melville Panthers didn't want to be a part of that history, opening the game with 2 big pass plays. Alan Barnett to Everett Barnett, 14 yards, and Melville led it 7-0. But that was it. The Jays defense slammed the door from there. Lerone Briggs picking off the Melville pass at the Panther 37, setting up the tying score. Ivan Benson, hampered again with the bruised knee, got back in the lineup and stayed on his feet 33 yards, evening the score at 7-7. The Jays missed another scoring opportunity just before halftime. Coach Pete Atkins' team went back to the drawing board.
Okay, guys, this is just like the start of the ball game, right?
After a patented Pete Atkins halftime pep talk, the Jays came back out on Faurot Field, tied 7-7 with Melville, 24 minutes away from a possible 9th state title. In Jaybird tradition, special teams came up with a key play. After a poor snap from center, Jefferson City took over at the Panthers' 6-yard line midway through the 3rd quarter. Moments later, Benson bowled in as the Jays went on top for the first time, 14-7, and that was the final. The JCD adding 2 more interceptions to preserve the 1994 state championship.
You've had 9 of them. How special is this one?
Well, I think in a lot of ways, Rod, winning one is great. When you try to win 2 in a row like this, we found out back in the 70s that that's a difficult job, but the team thought they could do it, so hey, we as coaches had to go along with them.
Winners and still champions, the Jefferson City Jays.
Most of all, just really adversity we overcame to win the state title. I mean, we did it as a junior my freshman year, but right now it seemed like the burden was on our shoulders, and it was just an honor for me, playing for the best coach, in my opinion, of all time, high school, college, or pro, and just to come through and win the 400th game and come back and just win the state title again our senior year. And it's something we worked for since 7th grade, and it just felt like every minute I'd spent on that field was worth it.
Yeah, we all planned on winning state. We pretty much did what we planned on doing. But it was a little shaky there. I mean, that Hickman game scared me. I didn't know what we were going to do then, but we came through and we did what we had to do.
Yeah, so it's worth it. It's something that I don't think any of us are ever going to forget. And whenever we're down, we can just think back to times like this when it all came together.
Oh, it was great. I mean, every year's fun, but your senior year, you enjoy it the most. Mainly the close games, all the close games and being around the guys whenever there were good times and the bad ones. That was a lot of fun this year.
Well, the work ethic, obviously, because we work so hard, and the discipline that you need to go through life. It's probably the 2 main things I'll get out of it.
Probably the fondest memory I had was at the end of the state game. My fellow linebacker, Prince Dixon, we all came in and we were happy, and he told me that no matter what, he loved us all. That was probably the best memory I've had.
Oh, we got coaches and I hope have a good relationship, but it's sometimes it's stressful, sometimes it was nice, but in all, it was a great year and great friends.
Hickman game, the overtime, the last stop of the Hickman game, that stands out, and I'll never going to forget that one. That's going to be there because that's a scary moment. It's a scary moment.
You got a pretty good piece of them, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a pretty good piece of them, and I was happy, but I hope, too close for me, but still make my heart pound when I talk about it.
The 2 days, I remember 2 days a lot. And hard practices and kidding after we go in after practice, we kid around and stuff. And after games, winning and stuff.
The pep talks, because he really got us up on those. He'd tell us what we did wrong, and everybody after that, they'd come out and they'd just be fired up and ready to play. So some of the games we didn't look like we were ready. We'd go in at halftime, and he'd just get us all hype, and everybody's ready for the second half. So it was the talk.
Well, they just made me learn a good work habit to always work hard. And if you didn't work hard, you weren't going to get anywhere. That's what I learned.
I think the discipline that they gave us, would really help us later on in life or anywhere you go, if you're going to take that with you. But other than that, I don't know, they've really taught us a lot, and I think we all owe them thanks for that,
Well, I always remember every game and every practice I went through because the East-West struggle was just like a war every day. So I'll remember all of them.
Well, you learn a sense of pride, pride in what you do, and take pride in everything you do, and just, work hard for what you want to do and everything. Just go out and do your best, I guess.
At the beginning of the season, we basically didn't think we were going to be all that. Everybody was kind of down on their body, and all of a sudden it started clicking in, hey, we needed to kick it up and become as a team, and when we did, we started really starting to play, and throughout the season, we climbed up the ladder, getting better and better. And I guess a lot of the harder games proved out, such as the Hickman game and Rockhurst game. We were behind the first half, and we came through, pulled it out. But other than that, it feels great to be another state champ for the second time.
I'm really glad that I played because I thought I wouldn't get that much playing time because I was second string, And then I guess someone did bad during the game, and I got to go in. I was like freaking out at first, I was so excited going in, and when I went in there, I was like trying to get everybody up and going because when I was in there, everybody was down. I was trying to get them up and everything. I was so privileged to play. I was like, I'm happy to stay in my life. I'll never forget about that.
I'll probably always remember just the guys that I played with, just the times that we had together. We spent 11 months of our lives together to win the state championship.
At first, when we came out 2 days and stuff, it was pretty rough because we didn't have anything set. We didn't know, this or that. So I don't know if that's coach's game, still getting you to work hard or not. But after we came out with our first couple games when we did pretty good and stuff, and things started coming together, and we just had to play as a family, and I think that's what we did through the season.
It was really great. Been here for about 3 years and stuff, and winning one, another one junior year, and now it feels really good to have 2 under your belt before you leave.
It was a nice way. Anytime you can work hard all year and get a big reward out of it, it's a nice way to go out. And I think that I'll miss it. I'll miss Coach Atkins and the other coaches, and I don't mind having turf burns 2 years in a row. So I think it's a nice way to go out. Dedication from Coach Atkins, hard work. It's unbelievable. I had never had nothing like this happen to me before.